Welcome to Minesweeper Battleship, where all mines must form 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, or 1 by 4 blocks, but the blocks can't touch each other, not even diagonally. So let's see. If this is not a mine, then this 2, which is just a standard Minesweeper clue, the mines would be here and here, but those would be blocks that are touching diagonally, so that must be a mine. So I think there's actually information about all the diagonals now, because let's say there is a mine diagonally to the other mine. Well, there's no way I can possibly make this correct. Like, this will create something that's not a block. And even if I don't make a block with it, it still touches diagonally. So all of these are empty. This 1 is fulfilled. This 2 is fulfilled. This is a block that can't turn because it's just straight line blocks. 1. I can't tell if it's here or not. So in here, we have 2 mines in this section, and this 2 already sees 1 mine, so there's 1 mine total in that section. There can't be 2 mines up in this area, so one of the mines is here, and the remaining mine is within this area, so we can mark those as non-mines. We'll clear the drawing now. Oh, and again, there can't be a mine diagonally against another mine, so that's 2 there. So as we previously mentioned, there was 1 mine in this area because like this 2 is already counted for 1 mine, the other mine must be here. So this 2 sees a wider area, but the 1 mine is definitely in there. Okay. Oh, because, look at this. If there is a mine here, we know that there can't be mines and diagonals to other mines in this rule set. So that would mean those are non-mines, and then this 3 doesn't see enough anymore. It only sees 2 cells. In other words, this original assumption of this being a mine was wrong. There's a 3, and that is its maximum, so we can fill those in immediately. This is the 1 mine that we saw before. We said there was 1 mine in this area, and we found it now, so that's not a mine. There are 2 mines in the last area. Okay. First of all, you've got to look at this rule. There's 2 mines remaining, and 1 of the mines is here. That means the other mine is in that empty cell. This 3 is done, and there we go. So here is the 6x6 version of Battleship on the 6x6 board. This is a 0, so there's no mines around that at all, for sure. This 2 sees the most that it can, so there's the 2 right there. Okay. No diagonal, so just put that there. Now this 1, there's a mine here, and that is the 1 mine that's accounted for in this clue, so there's no mines in here. Okay. Usually in this... Yes, okay. So if there's a mine here, then no diagonals are allowed, so those are not mines, and then this 3 is nowhere to put a mine, so that can't be a mine tile. So because of this 3, it already sees 2 mines, so there is 1 mine here. So there's 2 mines in this section, but I don't know what that gets me. There's 1 mine here, 1 mine here. So I guess there's 1 mine here as well, but I don't know what that gets me. Like, none of the hypotheticals seem to be useful there. Okay, I think I've got it, although it's pretty involved. So I'm going to switch colors here. Let's say there's a mine here. No mines are allowed on diagonals in that case. So now these resolve for the mines to be in this position. Now, because it needs to form a 1 by 1 or 1 by 2 or 1 by 3 or 1 by 4, it's not a 1 by 5 block here. So that must be a non-mine in this hypothetical, which means that the mine resolves here. And now this is the problem. This can't, like, turn, because that would make a block that isn't a straight line. Like, it can't be here or here. So these ones are screwed now. So, where did we start again? Right, it was this that we started on by assuming this was a mine. So, that's not a mine. And that's a 1, which the 1 is accounted for here. So, those are non-mines. We know that the mine is resolved to be here. And now what? Well, we have this 1-2 situation. This is a classic of Minesweeper, not particularly special. The mine is in this area, and there can't be 2 mines in this area, so the remaining mine is here for the 2, and that leaves 1 mine in this area for sure, because this 2 sees 1 mine already, and therefore this 1 doesn't see anything in those squares. As we mentioned before, this was either a mine here or here. We know the location now, and because no 1 by 5 is allowed, that's not a mine. This 3 is finished, and the puzzle should be really close to finish from here. There are 4 mines remaining. Hopefully I don't need to bust out the global counting. Well, first of all, no mines on diagonals, so there we go. This 2 sees only 2 spots. We can just fill those in. There's 1 mine remaining, and it's in this spot here. So, there you go. 7 by 7. Let's go. So, there's a 3 here. And, of course, if I have a mine in here... Well, actually, that's possible. Okay, that's not possible. If there's a mine here, then those are non-mines. And then I'll be forced to put mines in here because the 3 has hit its maximum. But that configuration puts mines on diagonals, so that's not happening. That's not a mine. Okay, now there's a 2 here. Let's look at my color a little bit. So, say that's a mine. Then these cells are not mines because no mines on diagonals. Now this 3 has only 3 cells that it can have mines in it, so it has to be all of them. But then that overloads this 2. So that's not a mine. Now we have a 4. So we know there is 1 mine in here. And, well, because this 3... maybe it wasn't clear enough. Like, the 4 sees all the area the 3 sees, except there's 1 more, and therefore the 1 more is in here. And then in this area... the 3 could be like mine, 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 or mine here, except that would actually overload the 2. So this isn't the configuration. It's got to be something like this, where the mine is in one of these tiles, and that accounts for the 2 completely. So there's no mine here, and both of these are mines. This one and this one sees all the area that this one sees, except a few more. We know there's no mines in those few more tiles. This is resolved. This cell could have been a mine, and that's resolved now, so that one is the one with the mine in it. Can autofill a little bit, but get rid of this. Okay, anything else? Well, this, no mines on diagonal, so there you go. Right, so now, if this is a non-mine, then both of these have to be mines, and that creates a diagonal, so that's not allowed. The mine is here. We fill in the 1, fill in the 2, fill in the 2 automatically. This, and there's no diagonal, so just get rid of all the squares. On diagonal, this 3 sees max. No, okay. That 3 does not see its maximum. What else? Well, this area isn't a mine because then this 2 wouldn't have enough, so not a mine here, but where else? This useful? Nope, I don't think so. Oh wait, maybe this. Yep, definitely this move. If this is a mine, then there can't be mines in this or this, and the 3 is now underloaded. Just click that. Anything with the 4? Like, if you said this was a mine... Well, the 4 can still... There's still configuration in this hypothetical where the 4 is completely fine, so... Okay, so, like... There must be a mine in here because this 3 sees 2 mines already, so the 1 mine is here. That means there is a mine in this area, so mine here, mine here, mine here. And crucially, if there was a hypothetical mine here, we would not be able to do this, so yeah, that's wrong. 1. Well, we know the 1 mine is already here, so we can block that off. Okay. 2's hit its maximum, 3's the maximum. This can't see diagonally, so the 2 is maxed effectively. Can't see the diagonal here. Now, if this was a mine, then it would ruin the extra mine that needs to be here. It's not a mine, that's just 3 now. Well, we know there is 1 mine here, so therefore the remaining mines of the 3 are in these slots. No mine on the diagonal. 3. If I do this, have a mine there, then there can't be a mine either. These places, the 3 is underloaded, so no mine in this slot. I have 3 mines remaining on the entire board. See, I'm not sure whether I can use that yet. Like, I have 2 mines here, and 1 mine here, because this 3 is already accounted for. Therefore, there's no mines in the remaining spots. But now what? Oh, the 2 is... Actually, the 2 is finished. That we can auto-do everything like that. There we go. Perfect clear. Pretty fun mode. Okay, and for the finale, 8x8 is like an even harder mode that you can unlock. But anyway, 3. So if I do this, well, no, the trick is very similar to what we did before. If there's a mine here, then there's no mines here, and 3 has to hit its maximum, but doing that will actually make the diagonal. So, not a mine. A 2 again. Same reasoning, it's just moved around a little bit, like rotated, so that's forced. And then you make 3, but it overloads the 2. So that can't be a mine. Okay, here's the deviation. This 3 sees the same area as this 3, so we know there's 3 in this area. So there's no mine in here or here. 1. 1's low. And it means that there must be a mine here. Well, could it be possible to have 2 mines here and then 1 mine here? Okay. Well, hold on. That's still invalidated if I do this, because if there's a mine in this space, there's no mine here. And now suddenly the 2 sees the same area as the 1, but somehow the 2 is supposed to have 2 mines and the 1 sees everything the 2 does, but is somehow only seeing 1 mine. That's not a thing, so that's not a mine. Okay, so if there's a mine here, then the 1's satisfied, but also they can't see diagonals because you can't have mines and diagonals in here. And then the 3's here are underloaded, so that's empty. 4. Okay, I might be wrong, but is there any way to have the 1's mine be elsewhere and then have a good setup with the 4 at all? We can enumerate them, like, that's not gonna work. That's not... Oh, that could work. Because it doesn't see diagonals there. Yeah. Although, it would be better to try to contradict over here, because the 1 is satisfied, but again, it can't see diagonals, and now this 4 is definitely not gonna work, so that's not a mine. Another 4. Let's try using that hypothetical again. Although I don't think it's going to work this time. Oh, it will work. Because it hits this part of the 4. And this 4 has its maximum. And yet it's going to make a diagonal if I do that. So, not a mine. Slowly making progress here. Is there any super contradiction I could make? Like, let's say that's not a mine. This 3 then hits its maximum. And then we have to do this. This 1 is also hitting its maximum. This 2 has hit its maximum as well. There's no mine next to diagonals. So, yeah, this didn't seem to do anything, honestly. Like, there just isn't enough on this 4. The 4 actually gets too much credit in some sense here. There is a sense that I might be able to do something in these particular spots about the 4. So, let's just talk about each one of them. Because I'm not completely sure yet, although I'm pretty confident it will be. Anyway, if we do this... Then look at the spots the 4 remains in. It's like this cross that is very likely to make diagonals. I'll switch my color here. Purple, whatever. So, these are all the spots the 4 could be in. And I honestly don't know. I don't think there's a way to prevent the diagonal from being made at all. Like, if you look at these hypotheticals, all of them have diagonals being formed here. Obviously that one. So, I think I can fill in every one of those squares because they are looking at the 4 the same way. Because every one of the squares are just touched. Like, if they were a mine, then the 4 would be in that shape of only having like 5 cells. So now I want to check if the same is true for these spots on the 5. So let's just look at one of them here. Now the 4 does make it a little, I don't know. I don't think that should matter, but we'll just say that one. So if there's a mine here, then there can't be a mine in either of these slots. And now these are 6 remaining slots. So that means, like, we have to try to make this happen without a diagonal. Wait. Yeah, no, that is 6. Anyway, so let's just enumerate the possibilities. Obviously, this still creates diagonal. This still creates diagonal. This still creates diagonal. This still creates diagonal. This still creates... Yeah, you know what? Those are empty too. This 3 almost sees its maximum, and most of these, like if that's empty, or if that's empty, the remainder will be a... We'll create a diagonal, and the same is true for here. So those spots aren't empty, and let's fill out the diagonals, because there can't be a line and a diagonal in this little set. Okay. Look at this. This 3 sees 1 mine maximum here, although it could be here. Why does it show that my cursor is loading? That's so annoying. Anyway, so there is, like, let's count this. For the 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mines, and that's the only way it could work, because this 3 sees 1 in this area. So mine, because the diagonal, these aren't mines. This 3 is finished. This 2 is finished. This 1 sees this. The mine is in here, so therefore that's the mine that's accounted for in this one. This 5 is done. This 3 is done. Okay. Oh, it's this again. Why can't I never find my color? But yeah, it can only form 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. This is a 1 by 4, and that means there's no 1 by 5 available to make. That's not allowed. Okay, this 4 is about to see its maximum, so if that's an empty, then the 4 sees maximum and then creates a diagonal, so that can't be the empty one. What if this is a mine? No mines in the diagonals. Here, 1 seeds max. This doesn't seem to be very useful, to be honest. Yeah, I don't see any deductions here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, if this is not a mine, 3s here see their maximum, so there are mines in here. There's no mines in the diagonals. And now this 4 also sees the maximum. Mine, 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 mine. There's no 1 by 5 available, so that is not a mine. And this 4 is underloaded now. It can't actually see 4 mines this way. So that is not a mine. It's a mine. Okay, I did superposition to identify the correct cell to go to, but it's probably better to reverse this. So this cell agrees that it is a mine, but let's say it wasn't a mine. Then we would have this, no mines around the diagonals, and this too is actually busted. Because when we do this procedure, we put a mine in the diagonal, so now this 2 doesn't, it's completely underloaded. So that's a mine. I don't know what that gets us though. Wait, no, it gets the diagonal. And that was wait, no, this 2's finished. This 2's finished. Oh my gosh, this is not exactly where I expected the break to be. And this is just auto-filling because it's either just diagonals or the number is effectively at its maximum already. This is diagonal. Diagonal here. I was very close to a misclick there. How many? 5 remaining. This 2, it has a mine here. Therefore, a mine here would ruin those spaces, so there's no mine here. Okay, so the final step is about this remaining mine count and this 2. Please draw a straighter line. There you go. Anyway, remaining 5. And 2 is already accounted for here. And we have 4 remaining cells. That means they're all mines but 1. Now, let's say that this is a non-mine. Then that means the remaining cells are all mines then. Because we have 3 here, and 2 in here. But look at this. Because there's no mines on diagonals, we have to put a non-mine in each of the ones that are diagonal. And now the 2 is underloaded. So all of that means that this cell is a mine, but still, this is not good enough, because obviously that cell was something that really mattered anyway. I think the key cell is actually if this is not a mine. It's hard to tell kind of to do the logic because I just modified it from something, obviously, but because basically this is the exact same situation. It's just that instead of the diagonal being the reason why this is a non-mine, the reason this is a non-mine is because of the 1 already seeing the mine that we put in here. So in other words, if this is a non-mine, then we're still screwed in the same way as before. Therefore, it's a mine, fill in the diagonal, the 1's done, the 2 is done. Where's the last mine? Oh my gosh, it's here. Okay, there we go. So that is Battleship. Minesweeper plus Battleship. Tons of other rule sets and variants in this game, like triplet, apostrophe, and of course, the videos I've done on the previous variants. So yeah, a lot of stuff to explore here. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.